We've already done the top 10 best bases in State of Decay 2, so now it's time for the top 5 worst bases. I was going to do a top 10, but a lot of the bases in this game are very good. Pretty much all of them have at least something positive you could say about them. But I picked these 5 because they're just slightly below the rest, in my opinion. So, let's waste no time, let's get right into it, and start off with number 5. Number 5, more and more distributing Cascade Hills. Look, you could definitely argue a case for this one, a lot more than the others in this list, but it's one of the worst, at least in my opinion, for a couple of reasons. First off, let's look at what it costs and what we get from it. The base costs 1,500 influence and you need 6 community members in order to move in. We get 2 large facility slots and 5 customizable small facility slots, 3 indoor and 2 outdoor, so we've got a lot of customization there. We also get a built-in, fully upgraded power generator, which costs 1 fuel per day to run, giving us base-wide power, which can be very helpful, especially if we don't have the Builder Boon amenities yet. We get a built-in fuel tank facility, which does nothing except give us a passive plus 100 to our fuel storage, pretty useless, a bit of a waste in my opinion. And lastly, we get a fully upgraded workshop that has a unique little plus 25% bonus to our build action speed, meaning we can build facilities on our base that little bit faster, which is very good. Moving on to defense, and it's not too bad, it's good actually. The walls are quite high, with barbed wire and steel spikes, preventing zombies from climbing over almost every part. There's only 3 entrances, which is very good. We have plenty of room to fight the zombies in, it won't feel too cramped, and we can also climb up the fuel tank to use it as a kind of watchtower, almost like the fuel tank watchtower in Rusty Rosie's on Providence Ridge. So let me get this straight here. The defense is good, the customization is for the most part really good, and the map it's on isn't bad either. So what makes it bad? Why is it in number 5? Well, there's just one aspect of the base that is so horrendously bad, it brings the base down to this place. The cesspit of bases, the unwanted, the neglected home sites. Of course, I'm talking about its location. I mean, look at the state of it. It's located right at the top of the map, nowhere near anything. No towns, no playcards, hardly any loot up here. Why would you even want a base up here? Every other base in the map, in fact every other base in the entire game, probably has a better location than this. Most bases are within walking distance of a town. Some are very central, and you want a base like that because driving times will be reduced and missions will be easier. You'll feel less lonely, less depressed. Well, I can't guarantee that. But no, this location is so bad. It makes the cost of the base a little less justified. I mean, 1,500 influence is no joke. That's a hefty price for a base. You expect a decent location, and this just isn't it. It's not doing it for me. Maybe you disagree, but it makes the number 5 spot. Anyway, moving on to number 4. Number 4, the Cabin Park Motel, Drucker County. This is pretty much Camp Kalenqua on a budget. Only it's not Camp Kalenqua on a budget because they both cost the exact same. 5 survivors and 1,000 influence. What makes it a worse version is the terrible location, below par defense, and you get less than half the passive beds you would have got with Camp Kalenqua. Let's focus more in on the walls for a second. It's quite a spacious base, so you would think you'd get a pretty decent wall to help us secure it, but we don't. A lot of the wall can be climbed over, pretty much all of it, except for a few bits here and there. It actually has one pretty strong side to it, to be fair, the same side where the cars are parked, and that's another thing. Driving up to the base is pretty much impossible, because the surrounding area is so steep and rocky. You could argue that this helps with defense, but it makes accessing the base a nightmare, and you can only really access the base from one side, the most awkward side to get to. Now, with all the bad stuff out of the way, what are the good things with this base? I mean, it must have something going for it if I've not put it in the number 1 spot. Well, this base has 2 large facility slots, which for a 5-man base is nice. Very nice. It's got a built-in kitchen, which is pretty good, and a built-in well, which can also be really good, especially if you don't have amenities. I also like the layout of the base. Having 4 buildings really makes me feel like we're a thriving community, having a little mini town almost. But it makes number 4 because it has one of the worst locations in the game. Access to the base is a nightmare, and defending it is pretty bad too. There's much better 5-man bases out there. Check this video out if you don't believe me. Anyway, let's see what the number 3 spot is. Number 3, the Firewatch Fortress, Providence Ridge. Free to move in and only 1 survivor required. Is this value for money? Well, yes, but you're not really wanting to stay here for very long, and here's why. The location sucks. The map is hard to drive on already, with this big mountain in the way, so driving times will be long and missions will be painful. There is a fairly decent amount of loot close by, so I guess it has that going for it. The facilities we get with this base are okay. We get 4 beds built inside this massive watchtower, which does look really cool to be fair, and you can even scout out the nearby area from the top of it, which no other base can do. so it's pretty unique in that sense. We get 2 small outdoor facility slots, and we also get a built-in infirmary, which we can tear down if we want to build something else here. Now it might not look like it, but this is actually an indoor facility slot, so if you want more beds or indoor facilities for whatever reason, you've got the option here. Let's look at the defence now. It's okay, but it doesn't matter because it's not got enough going for it to be worth defending. The walls are pretty high, quite a lot of sections have barbed wire, and there's only 3 entrances. But as I've already said, defence only matters if you've got something worth defending, and this base doesn't have that. There's just better one-man bases out there. Take the Vogel House, Clarington House and Justino House for example. They're all one-man bases with 2 more facilities, and for the most part, better locations. You just wouldn't want to stay in this base for very long. Try and get into Rusty Rosie's on this map. That's a 4-man base costing 500 influence, but with a lot more to offer, and a better location. It's the starter home for a reason, so make sure it stays that way. Number 2, Checkpoint Delta, Trumbull Valley. Oh. Where do I begin? Where do I even start? Where can I even start? This base has pretty much nothing, which is why it's one of the worst. I already made a video ranting about this base, but one of the main things I talk about in that video is about how this base in particular nearly has more parking spaces than it does facilities, and that's including built-ins, the storage and the command centre. With this base we get 3 things. A built-in 4 beds, which is broken when we move in, you'll love to see it, and 2 small outdoor facility slots, which will most likely go towards a workshop and an infirmary. So your customization is... I don't even think I can call it limited. It's non-existent. This base has high walls and only 2 entrances, with a lot of room to fight, so the base is actually really good for defence. But what is actually worth defending here? Why is the defence so good? Tell me! They're probably winding us up. And the location, well, it's okay. Not the best on the map, probably one of the worst, but it's not too bad. It's on the left side of the map, and there's some looting locations nearby. There's not a lot, which can get annoying. So, to recap, what makes it number 2? The facilities, or the lack of facilities. Some folk may say, oh well, that's a bit harsh, it's only a 1-man base. Shut it. There's a lot of 1-man bases that are alright. Pretty good actually, but this is not one of them. This is a terrible 1-man base, and by that logic, it's a terrible base in general. Number 1, the Country Church, Meager Valley. It makes me so mad every time I look at it. The worst base in the game by far. Well, maybe not by far. Checkpoint Delta does come pretty close, but no, this base is terrible. It takes 4 community members and 500 influence to claim this dump. First off, let's look at the home base screen. Oh my god. Where is everything? I mean, for a 4-man base we've got 4 facilities and a built-in watchtower. No built-in beds, no built-in utilities, no built-in kitchen. I mean, these are just standard built-ins you get with loads of other bases. Even Checkpoint Delta has beds. Let's look at what you'll most likely build with this base. You're probably going to build a workshop and an infirmary, and then you're left with only 2 slots. One will probably go to food production, and then you only have 1 slot to play around with. Absolute garbage. For some reason, the base has an upgraded storage. This one specialising in food and meds, which has got to be some sort of sick joke, because good luck trying to maintain your resources with this base. All your early game outposts will no doubt be devoted to food or meds to deal with your daily costs, and whatever free slots you have on base is probably going to try and make up for the rest. The location doesn't help its case either. It's near the top left of the map, not a lot of great looting spots nearby. I mean, there's a town slightly further down from it if you can be bothered, but driving times from here for missions and just general survival is going to take a while. The defense isn't great here either. The wall's okay. It's not got too many weak points to it, but it has 5 entrances. That may be the most entrances to any wall in the game. I can't remember seeing a wall with more than that. The building itself has only 2 entrances, both of them being double doors, and a lot of the windows in this base can be jumped through, which doesn't help for defense. Not a lot of space to fight on the inside either. I guess the saving grace of this base is the watchtower, giving us 2 armed guards and a decent vantage point all over the roof. But overall, it's just not good enough. You get a large slot with this base, which is nice, but every other base in the game has at least 1 large slot, except the starter houses of course, so it's nothing to brag about. It'll probably be wasted on a farm or barracks anyway. So, overall, the location with this base is bad, the defense is poor, and the worst thing about it, which annoys me every time, is that almost every single 1-man base in the game has more customization than it. You're paying for something worse than what you start off with. Why would you do that? There's nothing else I can really say about this. The Country Church takes number 1 for the worst base in State of Decay 2. Stupid base. So there we have it folks, the ranking is complete for another day, and I think I did a pretty good job ranking them, well, I hope. I'll give myself a pat on the back. But maybe you disagree, maybe you're a die-hard fan of the Country Church, maybe there's something I'm missing. Let me know, leave it in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.